Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Days of Our Lives spoilers recap for Thursday, July 13, reveals that Kristen DiMera, Stacey Hyduck, texted Rachel Black, Finley Rose Slater, to warn her not to send messages to any of her friends or open the door to anyone. When someone showed up outside the DiMera mansion, Kristen assumed it was the cops again and said they'd need another warrant. Lainey Price Grant, Saul Stowers, announced herself. So Kristen opened up and pulled her old friend into a hug. After Lainey explained the furlough situation on Thursday's Days episode, Kristen pretended she was distraught over Rachel's disappearance. Lainey called Kristen out for lying and gave her some advice about trying to work something out with Brady Black, Eric Martsolf, legally instead of kidnapping Rachel as the non-custodial parent. Since Lainey had been locked up for so long, she hoped Kristen would use her freedom wisely. In the town square on Thursday's Days episode, Brady put up missing person posters, but he told Marlena Evans, Deidre Hall, that he was just doing it to keep from going crazy. Brady was convinced that Kristen had Rachel since she demanded a warrant before she let the cops search the house. Plus, Kristen would be out searching for Rachel if she was genuinely missing. Although Brady wanted to march over to the DiMera mansion and confront Kristen, Marlena convinced him to let her handle this instead. Later, Marlena showed up to quiz Kristen, who played dumb about Rachel's whereabouts. However, Marlena kept pushing until Kristen finally suggested that if she did know where Rachel was, then she'd need something in return for that information. At Whitley King's, Kim Cole's, apartment, she sedated Abe Carver, James Reynolds, again and faced Jerry Prentice, Terrell Ransom Jr. freak out when he saw the state Abe was in. In the hallway, Jerry ripped into Whitley for drugging Abe and complained about the mayor's loved ones being forced to grieve unnecessarily. Whitley argued that she loved Abe and that no one could take care of him the way she could. With that in mind, Whitley planned to move away with Abe and live off the money she'd supposedly been saving up. There was a bonus in it for Jerry if he left town as well since he was caught up in the mess. Once Whitley returned to Abe, she told him to watch body and soul while she was at the hospital. Whitley had something to take care of, but then she assured Abe that they could start their new life together. While Whitley was gone, Abe seemed out of it during his latest Body and Soul episode and imagined himself appearing on the show. At Paulina Price's, Jackie Harry, apartment, she got rid of Chanel Dupree, Raven Bowens, by sending her to Steve Johnson's, Stephen Nichols, place for funeral service photos. That gave Paulina a chance to speak with Theo Carver, Cameron Johnson, alone. So she offered an out if Theo didn't want to give the eulogy. Theo hated public speaking, but he wanted to do this for his dad and asked if he could practice on Paulina. Once Theo gave a sweet speech and vowed to take care of Paulina for Abby, she was moved over his words. At Steve's apartment, John Black, Drake Hodgeston, talked to him about having another nightmare about Abby down by the docks. It felt like a premonition, so John and Steve considered the possibility that Abe was reaching out somehow. When Channel stopped by for the Abe photos, she wound up talking about Whitley's work on his mayoral campaign and the fact that Whitley was at Abe's Juneteenth wedding. Steve and John were suspicious, especially since research indicated that Whitley had never missed work except for when her husband passed away and the day she supposedly went homesick. That was the same day Abe disappeared from the hospital. Since the security cameras didn't catch anything, that also made John and Steve suspect someone like Whitley would know how to avoid them. At the hospital on Thursday's DOLA show, Steve encountered Whitley and learned she was tendering her resignation today. That news got Steve's attention, so he pushed for updates on why Whitley would do that. After the funeral, the wheels started turning for Lainey about Jerry and what he really wanted to tell Theo down on the pier. Since Lainey had an ankle monitor on and could be tracked, she assured Paulina that she'd show up for prison transport and visited Jerry in the meantime. Jerry was packing up his stuff to leave town when he opened the door to find Lonnie's suspicious stare. At the pub on Thursday's Days episode, John and Brady discussed the latest Kristen drama before they shared a toast to Abe. Finally, Theo asked if Paulina thought it was true that Abby was in a better place, so Paulina said she sure hoped so. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Days of Our Lives Gossip YouTube channel for more update news.